The Endurance E-Racing World Championship 24 Hours of Matsusaka is powered by ESR Esports Network, Xiling, Elite Gaming, SimLab, Husingfeld, Simplexity, Global Connect, and AMD.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Yusuf Patel, and I'm joined here by Peter Munkholm, producer and all-round nice guy, as you inform me. So first off, tell me a little bit about your role here at GTR24H.
Well, I used to do a lot of the marketing stuff and trying to usually we did have to do a lot of work to try and get drivers and teams to participate.
Yeah.
But we've been doing some research and looking into how do we really attract teams. So there's a few things important about that, is having the right execution and having good rule books, and then having a stringent and consistent race control. So that's why Nick is involved with race control now as well. And then of course, if you want to promote sim racing and make it into an esport, the prizes are very important. So that's why John's working. His main job is trying to secure the partners and trying to get the prizes and the promotion through the partners, as well as working his TV deals.
Yeah. And you mentioned, of course, that one of the biggest difficulties is getting drivers in and getting that prize pool. Yep. A lot of new sponsorships coming in, a lot of that money now coming through. What is really the best way right now for drivers to get involved with that and use that to their maximum potential?
That's again a multi-step process. But right now, the most important thing is to be available. Because what we realized through the years, trying to attract an audience of viewers to this and trying to get some of the TV companies to pick this up, because the last 3 years we've been working with TV companies, and that is a butcher's business. They won't take up any programs, any content, without some kind of security that people are really going to want to watch it. So what makes you want to watch esports? We had a lot of thought about this,
right?
And it turns out that part of it, but it's a small part, is because of the sport in it that's actually going on. But that's all driven by the competition.
Yeah. And
the competition is founded on the people that compete. So you want to have that fandom and something interesting going on. You want to have the drama between the participants, the competitors. So promoting a bit of fandom and trying to make the drivers more relatable.
Yeah.
Trying to have the information out there so the fans can know who is this driver, what does he stand for, what's his way of racing, what's his personality, what's his character. Because I think last time we talked about this with some of the TV companies, the phrase that came up in my head was nobody watches sim racing, but everybody watches drivers. And it doesn't what makes Formula One? If it wasn't for the popular drivers, it would just be a bunch of cars driving around on track.
Yeah.
And you can see series like the Formula E. They're working equally hard as we do to try and promote. Like, if you watch their Facebook page, most of their content is actually trying to promote the drivers, how they drive, and their commentary after the races and before the races. So it's a lot of content around the drivers, and that's because these companies know how to attract an audience, and that's by promoting the drivers. So yeah, we're basically going exactly the same direction.
Yep.
We want to move in a direction now to promote the drivers as much as we possibly can, and the more exposure the drivers and the teams get, the more they are able to attract their sponsorships, get better equipment, get maybe the top tier drivers will want, I think, eventually a good pay for driving as well. So you need, like, the economy sort of starts to step in and be a requirement to perform better in this. And if you want to secure the economy, you got to be visible and got to get out there, and you got to grab all the chances that you can to be visible and be available for interviews. Yeah.
And I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've got production stuff to do for Matsusaka. But my final thing that I do want to mention is, again, with regards to creating these opportunities for drivers to get involved, is the creation of the Sprint Series, which, again, it's in its debut season. There's talks about it being renewed for second season. How important do you think that has been to enable viewers really to get to know the drivers better as well, and give the drivers, an increased platform to get known, essentially?
We're starting to see from the comments that we get on social media that people are starting to, like, this in the beginning, people showed up that was close relatives of the drivers, or maybe they were beginning to be fans of the teams.
Yeah.
Some of them were like distant members of the teams, because some of these sim racing teams, I think Rookie Monsters has like 100 drivers that they're sort of associated with, and some of those obviously start following the series, and then they share it, and people they know start watching it, and then they start cheering for the drivers. And we're seeing that in the comment sections all around now, people cheering for different drivers. Come on, do well this team, do well that team. And that's exactly what creates the fans, and what creates all of the just the general fandom around the drivers and around the series, which attracts even more viewers.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Peter. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thanks for coming to Denmark and doing the commentary for this weekend.
Thank you for being a general nice guy and getting me pizza.
Yeah, and yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
The Endurance E-Racing World Championship 24 Hours of Matsusaka is powered by ESR Esports Network, Xiling, Elite Gaming, SimLab, Husingfeld, Simplexity, Global Connect, and AMD.